Hi, I'm E.T. Lewis and welcome back to my channel, and still recovering if you saw my vlog, which actually came out the day I'm filming this, because it is, well, when you're seeing this is last week, so this is last Saturday actually, but I'm still recovering, but doing much better, so yeah, so at least for that. And I plan on actually doing some pre-filming this weekend on a few little things. Some things I can't, and that's perfectly okay. But anyway, so there's a few things I'm going to do in this video, and depending on how things fall, I may have to add some stuff in post, so I probably won't edit this until almost the last minute. But that's okay. But one of the things I want to do is I want to introduce you to a new friend. Oh, by the way, I kind of de-holidayed the library a little bit, so I do have this holiday candle still. I don't know, I may keep it through winter. It mostly has, you know, snowflakes on it, so I mean, hey, that's fine. And of course, I still have the spooky little house with the black evergreens or everdarks, whatever you want to call them. So I need to get a new battery for it because it's just not as bright on the light as it used to be. So anyway, I did keep the cards up, so I have these cards are all up still because I thought I'd keep them around just a little bit longer. But anyway, I wanted to introduce you to a new little character. Don't have a name for this one yet, but I have a new skull. And I actually got this one, I think it was early November? Yeah, I think it was early November. It was after Halloween, but it was definitely before Black Friday. So I got this little skull. I don't know what to name it yet. I guess it's just a flaw in the skull right there. But I thought it was really cool and stuff, so I actually got it on sale. I actually got it cheaper than what I thought I was going to get it for, because I didn't realize it was actually part of the Halloween decor, because this place has skulls all the time, but apparently this one was part of their Halloween stuff. So, not sure what to name it yet, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll take some suggestions, so if you've got suggestions, please. And I don't know where to put it somewhere along here, because, you know, yeah, I don't know where to set the new skull, so. But anyway, so channel update before we get to the review, which is going to be a double today, and it is Werewolf Winter reviews. So one of these books I listened to for Werewolf Winter, and one of these I didn't. It's actually one I listened to last year, but perfect time to talk about it. So coming up next month is Gothic Hearts Reading Challenge, so I'll be doing a lot of stuff with that. It's being put together and discussed right now. Regina will be having an announcement, and I'll have something coming up with it. I kind of was thinking about doing a little promo short, kind of like what I did last year, but something a little different. But since I haven't been feeling well, I didn't pre-film that, so I might film that this weekend as well, maybe tomorrow. And I'm not sure when it'll go up. It'll go up at some point, but it'll just won't be one of those little, you know, less than a minute things. So Gothic Hearts is coming up, and I do have one read already picked out for it. What else? Another channel update. I will be taking the month of March off again this year. Last year I did it to focus on a writing project. This year, I don't know if I'm going to be doing anything writing-wise during March, but I am going to be redoing the library a little bit, so this is going to change just a little. Not entirely sure what the full plan is yet, but it will be redone. But there will be some videos that I'll be pre-filming. They will be Wednesday videos, they'll be PAX Poetry, and they will be International Women's Month again, so that's what the month will be devoted to, and I'll just have videos coming out on Wednesdays. I might have a video come out the first Saturday, since there are like 5 Saturdays, I think, in March. So I might have like a wrap-up or something on that first Saturday, I'm not sure yet. But rather than that, the rest of the videos will just be Wednesdays, and they'll just be PAX Poetry. And I have some poems already picked out, so. I think that's mostly it on the updates. Yeah, I don't know anything else. I know Old School April's coming soon too, because that'll be coming up when I come back. So Oh, I'll also have some book hauls coming up because of, I did get some books around the holiday time. Also was gifted some books. And I also had that huge amount of Gothics and a few non-Gothics that I picked up when my local book hunt was closing. So I'll be sharing that, and I'll be over a course of at least a few videos, maybe a little bit more. Okay, now we're moving on into our book reviews, and like I said, these are Werewolf Winter ones. One of these I read for Werewolf Winter, and one of these I actually didn't, but it's the perfect time to talk about it, so if you're looking for a werewolf book, this will be another recommendation. So, Werewolf Winter is going on from the very 1st of winter, which was the 21st of December, through, I'm not sure what days the spring equinox is this year. Sometimes they'll fluctuate, but it's usually about the same day. It'll go on through March 19th or 20th, I'm not sure, whichever day is the last day of winter. So, I'll be doing, werewolf stuff. I've been reading werewolf stuff. I'm not only going to be doing werewolf stuff because Gothic Hearts is coming up, and so I may do something werewolf with that. It just depends, because there are some werewolf Gothic novels. And some that would actually work within that Gothic romance framework. So the first one today, I actually read back for Halloween-a-thon, and that is A Werewolf in Riverdale by Caleb Rarig. And this was published in 2020, and I was actually going to wear my Jughead hat, but I forgot it downstairs, I just realized. So this one tells the story of some strange attacks and murders that are happening in and nearby Riverdale. The whole town is completely awestruck and in heartbreak with the recent deaths of some beloved characters, and Jughead Jones is fearful that he's the one who is responsible. In the meantime, Archie tries to figure out what's going on, in the town, and what's going on with both his friends Jughead and Betty Cooper and her mysterious family secret. This one, I found it really enjoyable. It was a little bit different than the traditional Archie comics. It was a much more serious tone. There wasn't as much comedy to it, but it was quite gruesome, and it seemed like kind of like an older werewolf film that you might see in like maybe the 80s or even the 90s, really. So it definitely did some callbacks to, more old school films. And they don't make any secret about who the werewolf is, because pretty early on it's hinted at who it is, and of course it's revealed fairly early who it is. It's Jughead. So, but there's a little more to it than that. So even though that's a bit of a spoiler, I think it does talk about that on the back of the book, because I actually did read the synopsis the other day, because a lot of times I go into books blind, so I didn't even read what it was supposed to be about. I kind of thought that Jughead was the werewolf. And I know there's a comic book series called The Hunger. I think it's called Jughead the Hunger, and it's about the same thing, but I think it goes beyond this book. There is a main villain to this book, and it takes some very twisted turns with him and some of the things that he does. So, I'm not going to say who the villain is. There were a few characters that I didn't feel like had much to do in this one. Some of them are traditional Archie Comics characters, such as Veronica Lodge. She didn't have really much to do in this book at all, and we hardly even saw her. And the villain, I feel like at the very end, he didn't have much to do. Rather than that, I thought this book was very enjoyable. I listened to it on Audible, and the one who read it was, he did a superb job. So I gave this book 4 stars. It was quite good, and it was, it fit within an alternate reality of, our friends, from the town with Pep, the little town called Riverdale. The next book is another new-to-me author, just like the one of the Archie Comics book, and that is Ebon Moon by Dennis MacDonald. This is another one I listened to on Audible. And I just finished this one, actually, the other day. And this is about a young woman named Jessica, who is escaping her sadistic, abusive, did I say sadistic? Because if I didn't, I'm gonna emphasize it. crooked cop husband. She's escaping him with her 5-year-old daughter from Chicago, and they find themselves in a little town called Hope Springs in Oklahoma. Little do they know, there's some strange things going on in this town. There's some mysterious disappearances and some deaths due to a local pack of werewolves. Soon, Jessica finds that her daughter is the target of this pack, as the upcoming eclipse, or Ebon Moon, comes with a tradition of consuming the flesh of a child. This one was another one I completely went in blind with. It was free on Audible with my subscription, so I thought, you know what, perfect, I'll check it out. I have another one that I'm actually going to check out that's free, that's a werewolf, and I'm about to start it. And I just kind of went into this one fairly blind. I did look at the synopsis of this one while I was reading it, as opposed to, you know, months afterwards like I did with the Riverdale one. Archie Comics one, not Riverdale one. And this one really surprised me. I didn't know what I was going to think of it, but the writing was really good. The character development was excellent. And all the little side plots. There's even a bit of coming of age for some characters, because there's a couple teenage characters that go through some stuff. There were some things that I was really surprised about. Characters that I thought would end up heroes at the end weren't, for whatever reasons. I can't tell you. A couple different reasons. And there were some characters that I kind of thought, oh, well, that person will be really trustworthy. Nope, not going to happen. And there were the twists, especially with Jessica's husband, who, oh my god, Blake is horrible. He is absolutely horrible. And this book comes with a lot of triggers, so I would be careful checking this one out. If you have triggers for domestic abuse, child endangerment, of course there's lots of gore and stuff. There's also some talks of unaliving oneself and attempted unaliving too. So yeah, it comes with some triggers, but it's really well written, and it was a good story. I can't help but do this anymore, where I kind of try to envision books as movies, and this one I think I could envision as a movie. Unfortunately, it would have to probably cut a lot of stuff out, but I could see it working, and it would be a really fun movie. But it would be a hard one too, because of some of the stuff that happens. But yeah, great werewolf horror. I gave this one 5 stars. I know, first read of the year and already 5 stars, so I think that's off to a good start, or that's going to make things hard for all the other books I read this year. Which I am reading another book right now. I'm hoping to finish it tonight, if not tomorrow, and it's another werewolf book. And it's really good too. I am absolutely loving it, and it's part of a series. So, yeah, the only downside was, and I did not give this as part of my actual review, I didn't include it as on my rating, because I wanted to focus it merely on the story. The audio was done by virtual voice, so it wasn't a person reading it. For the most part, I didn't notice too much. I'm not a big fan of that. I just went ahead and settled with it because that's what was available. And for the most part, like I said, I didn't really notice too much, except for when certain words came up, and then it's just like, oh, that's not how you pronounce that, or wait, what was that trying to say? Oh, and then I quickly figured out, because it was obvious what the word was. So it wasn't a big deal, but I wasn't crazy about that. I wish it had been a person reading it. It would have been better. But all in all, I focused it merely on the story. I would highly recommend getting this book. But yeah, it was great. So like I said, already a 5 star. So see how the rest of this year goes. Anyway, that's what I have for you today. I hope everybody is enjoying their new year so far, and hopefully things are going better than they did last year, because I know for a lot of us some things happened, some more than others, and I hope things only improve for each and every one of us, no matter what you're going through, and the tragedies that are already going on this year over in California, as our thoughts and prayers go out to each and every one of them in LA. But in the meantime, stay safe, stay spooky, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.